Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. What a night. What a night at the King Power Stadium. Leicester City 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Stephen Bergwijn with a brace right at the end. Absolute scenes inside the King Power Stadium. I've got three very, very special guests to talk about tonight's game. I've got Ricky Norwood, actor. Ricky, how are you?
Antonio. I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm smiling. I was devastated like in the last 10-15 minutes, and then suddenly the eruption of joy, bro. The eruption of joy, man.
We'll come on to it.
I'm buzzing.
We've also got singer Leo the Lion, former singer with the Streets. Leo, how are you?
Listen, I'm good, man. I'm happy. I'm you know that feeling of joy. I feel like it's Christmas again, Christmas Eve. You know, I feel like it's Christmas Eve. That feeling of, oh, that's how I feel right now.
We've also got Kiss FM DJ and TalkSport presenter Majestic. Majestic, how are you?
Mate, magical after that. I was watching it, literally, I played football earlier tonight and I was sat in my car in the car park just watching it on the phone. And when those goals went in, I was just screaming. All I was screaming was, from the Netherlands! Because anytime on my podcast, we mention Steven Bergwijn, we say, Steven Bergwijn from the Netherlands.
Majestic, before we get to talk about the football, you've just brought out a new single. Tell us all about it, because you've been everywhere in the last 48 hours or so, haven't you?
I know, mate. Yeah, it's just been a bit Maj overload. But yeah, got a new charity single out, all in aid of Calm, Campaign Against Living Miserably, an incredible charity for mental health. Just quickly, just to be serious for a second, over 125 people lose their lives every week due to suicide, 75% of that being men. So this track here is really to open up the conversations and start people being quite open and understanding that vulnerability isn't weakness, is actually strength, and try and stop people from getting to that point of exhaustion. So yeah, it's out now. It's called Plain Old Kev, Invincible, and all the money goes to Calm. So anyone who's watching this tonight, support a fellow Spurs man, support an amazing charity, and let's fire up the top of the charts. I think it's number 26 in the iTunes charts tonight, so let's fire up to the top 20 for tomorrow.
I have actually pinned the link, so people can go and buy this single. So please do go and buy the single and support such a fantastic cause. Now, let's get into the football. Ricky, let's start with you. Simple question. What did you make of tonight's match?
Oh, bro, the range of emotions. The first 5 minutes starting slow again. Leicester on top of us. I'm thinking, what's going on here? Then we get a hold of the ball, we're playing, we've got the possession, we're passing, we're moving, and then they score against us on their counter-attack, and I was just like, here we go. And I was really, really happy when Harry scored and made it 1-1, but then when we came out in that second half, bro, I was just like, what's going on here? Like, I just went through a range of emotions, bro, a range of emotions tonight. I think, I don't even know where to start, bro. On the criticism side of things, I think it was a good thing that Emerson came off at half-time.
Yeah.
I think it looked like he was running in treacle tonight, but I could say the same for Tanganga a bit today. Like, it looked like the both of them, when they was overlapping and stuff like that, they were running through treacle. So I think that, it was the right thing to bring him off. When Doherty came on, I'm like, here we go. But to tell you the truth, Doherty had one of his best games for us today. He was flying down the wing. He was whipping in crosses. He was bullyish. He was trying to make those dynamic runs to just set people off. So, and then there was those last 10 minutes, I literally had my head in my hands on the table and just looking up like, please, come on, Tottenham, come on. I was even screaming for the whistle. I was just like, put me out my misery. Come on, boys, blow the whistle, What? 5 minutes extra time? What? Oh, come on, blow the whistle. And then to have those 2 goals by Stevie Bergwijn.
Steven.
From the Netherlands. Bang those 2 goals in. The aggression, even the yellow card that he picked up, I loved it all, man. So, bro, I'm so happy that we won. We needed to win that game. And I'm ecstatic to talk about it tonight. But 5-10 minutes before that game finished, Chris, I didn't know what I was going to say in this show today, boy. I didn't know what I was going to say. Whew.
That is the thing, though, Ricky, isn't it? You do go through every single emotion. And I'm not sure that other fans of other football clubs go through so many emotions that us Tottenham Hotspur fans do.
No, come on. I mean, and it was a statement win today. You know, that win was so important, not just for the 3 points, but for that galvanization of the squad, for that, for their will, for their effort, because we did deserve to be 3-4 goals up in the first half. We had our opportunities, and, Schmeichel's then being the Shea Given of his day, do you know what I mean? And just blocking everything and saving everything. You're like, what's going on here, man? But it was such a pivotal statement win today. It's more than the 3 points today. I think that's going to really help kick the boys on. Yeah.
Leo, you're a singer. Do you want to take this one on screen?
What do I want to take on screen?
Let's get battered.
Bergwijn is the hero. I was listening to, I'm organizing this birthday party for some guy on Saturday, and they sent me this the Simpsons song where it goes, Lisa, it's your birthday.
Happy birthday, Lisa.
You know when Bergwijn scored? Bergwijn is your birthday. Happy birthday, Bergwijn. That's what I was going through, bro. It was in my head. Listen, today, did you ask me a question, Chris? Because I didn't know what
someone wanted you to sing Leicester City get battered everywhere they go, but I'll tell you what,
everywhere they go, Leicester City get battered. Everywhere they go, Leicester City get battered. Like fish.
Well, Leo, Stephen writes on screen now, Florida via Wood Green turned off 89 minutes. The amount of tweets that I've seen where people have said that I turned the TV off at 88, 89, 90 minutes. You should never do that when you support Spurs.
Now, let me tell you something, right? I watched the game today. I came in probably 10 minutes in, and I saw us that we were dominating. And we played well. We were dominating the game. We had chances. And when Leicester scored, I was like, against the run of play, we didn't deserve it, but we're just not good enough. That's what I felt. But I didn't fault the guys for effort. I still felt that the guys were trying. Like before, when we concede, it's like, yeah, the guys are playing rubbish. But today, even when we went 1-0 down, I still felt that we had a chance to get back in the game. I still felt that there was a different attitude, that we wanted, there was a hunger, there was a determination. And then obviously when Kane scored, I was like, yeah, okay, this is it. I'm seeing it, So I wasn't generally put off, even by the 89th minute when we were 2-1 down. I still didn't, and you know me, like I told you last week, I'm a positive guy, I'm a positive guy, right? I like, but since I've been on your show, I just feel like I'm that negative guy, right? But even at 89th minute, I was still, obviously it's not good to lose, but I didn't feel like I should be harsh on the players when I was coming on your show today. I still felt that they were determined. They had like a hunger to them, and it just probably wasn't our day. Top teams lose. You can have Bayern Munich might lose a game. We're not expected to win every game. We might draw a game. So I wasn't going to be harsh tonight, regardless of the result against us tonight. Even if Leicester won, I wouldn't have come on here saying, "Oh, we're this, we're that." I would have said, "Look, it was just a bad day. We were unlucky." That's where I would have come from. But obviously, we won, which obviously changed the whole dynamic of the whole show, as we can see. And so I'm really ecstatic. I'm really happy because this does wonders for the team. It gives us the confidence to know that if we work hard, like Conte said, if we're prepared to suffer, then good things will happen. And we did that till the last second of the game. Usually at the 93rd minute, we would have given up. We would have thought we've lost the game. But we kept on, we kept trying, we kept pushing forward, we kept going for it. And when you keep trying, ladies and gentlemen, you get results. When you don't give up, ladies and gentlemen, you get results. And that's what we had today.
Majestic, let's come to you. Roy writes on screen now. That was a massive win and could turn out to be the difference of us getting into the top four. It would also give the team confidence moving forward. What did you make of tonight's game? Because, of course, it was great at the end, but what did you make of the game overall?
I think we were deserving of the victory. You know, I think in terms of the passage of play, we were the most positive. And as Ricky was saying, I look like Schmeichel's going to have one of those evenings. You know, fair play to Kasper Schmeichel. He's a terrific keeper. But the overall thing that I'm taking away from this is, yeah, I'm excited, I'm happy. But again, Daniel Levy is the man sitting at the blackjack table in Las Vegas, yeah, and he's had all these amazing hands just come to him, which happened in Spurs. And now comes the time that he needs to put his hand in his pocket, and he's pulled out another ace tonight. Don't think that this papers over the cracks of what he needs to do business-wise. That's the first thing that I'm looking at. I'm thinking, yeah, you know, Doherty had an okay game tonight, better than his normal absolute rubbish, yeah? But he was fighting, so I'm going to big them up for that. And Bergwijn as well. You know, does that mean he stays because he scored the 2 goals? Because I loved the energy that he gave us when he came on. And we haven't really given him a chance to, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But if you're Daniel Levy and you're looking at the league table now, 3 games in hand over West Ham. And, you know, some of those games in hand, you know, all due respect, Burnley, etc. You're thinking, what a touch I've had here. You know, go and get Traore. I've got the baby already. I told you I'm happy to go to Boots and get it myself. Send him out down to Tottenham Stadium.
Hold on 1 second. What are you doing with the baby oil, mate?
Oh, mate, he's the slippery eel, isn't it? He's got the baby oil on, isn't he?
Is this the right show? Are you sure this is the right show to be talking about this stuff?
Only fans. But yeah,
right, okay.
Listen, you know, no Son, no Dyer, no Romero. You know, some of our key players are still out. We got away with one tonight. But the fashion we did it was brilliant, wasn't it? And we've not had that in a long time as Spurs fans to enjoy that. And you notice things. You saw Lloris run from the whole other end of the pitch. Harry at the end really celebrating with the fans. There's been a thing there because I've noticed little things. It's like trying to read like your missus or something. I keep reading the stuff. He tweets, but he never puts hashtag COYS anymore. It's like another game well done. Yeah. But like tonight, he celebrated with our fans. You can see it meant something to him. And as I say, overall, I think we were ready to win because especially when them idiots started singing, Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Oh, it's happened again. I'm like, hang about. Have you forgot that we kicked you out of the top 4 last year because of Gareth Bale, rude boy? Seckle. Like, see Leicester. And Leicester annoy me because they've got no like real rivalry. Why does everyone want Spurs to be their rivalry? I did a show that come out today with Steve-O the Madman. And it's about the media bias against, but everyone hates us. I'm like, bro, all we care about really is Arsenal, a little bit of Chelsea. I don't care about the rest of you. And everyone's like, Tottenham get battered. Sit down. Antonio's in charge. Back the manager. Let's go and nick that top 4 this year. Because I tell you what, if there's one year that is likely, this is the year.
Majestic, last time you were on this channel was after the Everton game, which of course was Antonio Conte's first game in charge. What have you made of Antonio Conte's time at Spurs so far? Because in the Premier League now, that's 9 games managed, 6 wins, 3 draws, no defeats.
Says everything about the mentality of the man, doesn't he? Especially with the players that he's got that he's dispensable. You know, like making the likes of Harry Winks become, you know, footballers that you actually wouldn't mind at the club. I still think the Harry Winks, the Ben Davies, all of them players, they're our subs. They're squad players, you know? If you want Spurs to compete at the highest level, they're still not the right players. But I love the determination. I love what they're doing. And it shows everyone's buying into what Conte's saying. Again, shows that obviously Dele isn't doing anything because he's nowhere near the team, which is a shame. Especially seeing Maddison tonight. You know, he got man of the match. He played very well. I was ready for old Brendan to come out afterwards. Very proud of my team, you know, very proud of them. Thank God we didn't get that tonight. We got Antonio with the fists, you know. So, you know, his mentality that he instills on people. He doesn't celebrate, you know, mediocrity. He doesn't settle for second best. And even now tonight, and this is why we've got, for the fans, we got a great manager because he will just keep digging out Daniel Levy. He don't care. He's that guy he's Gordon Ramsay in Kitchen Nightmares. He's come to our kitchen. He's like, "Hey, big boy, your house is rubbish." Yeah, and he's telling Levy off. And he has to listen because Connie's going, "I don't care. I'll walk away and I'll still be a G and you'll be Tottenham." Yeah. So yeah, I'm loving Conte, loving what he's doing. Literally, this is because there was obviously some doubts with Jose where he was in his career now. This is Antonio Conte, one of the world's best managers at his pomp. He's just literally won things in Italy, Chelsea off the back. We have to back him, and that's it. And that is just my thing tonight. Again, Mr. Levy absolutely got away with it. Back him now. Traore's my first signing tomorrow.
Sorry, Chris, before you go forward, you know, I have to do my thing. Sorry. We have 1,400 people on the stream. Okay, we need to get my goal with Chris, and we need to get at least 1,000 people liking this stream immediately in one go. All right. So let me look into the camera, ladies and gentlemen. I need to do the Leo look. Tottenham fans, what are we saying? Okay, we have 1,400 people watching this stream. We need to get 1,000 likes in less than 10 seconds, right? So I'm going to count down to 5 and get that finger. Ready? And let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get that finger out!
Once they've done that, they can go and buy the single by Majestic.
And they can go buy a single. You see,
Absolutely.
You see what I do, Chris, for you? I make sure that every Tottenham fan gives you the finger.
Yeah, a lot of them do that. Majestic, let's stay with you for a second because there's a comment on the screen now saying, Antonio Conte's subs, I feel, won us the game today. As you said, Matt Doherty had a superb 45 minutes in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt. Of course, Stephen Bergwijn great. Subs were spot on tonight. Performances were at the level that we expect. Shall be donating to Majestic's charity for Arsenal fans' sake. It was about the subs tonight, wasn't it?
It certainly was, and even the fact that he moved Lucas out wide left, who was causing a lot of problems for them down there. He was really even getting balls in the box and stuff, and it was causing them a lot of problems. And obviously, Bergwijn is the super sub today. He's come on, he's made a difference, got himself booked. He was up for the fight, and that's what we needed to see. And those players that came on, including Doherty, looked like he was playing for his Spurs career tonight, to be honest with you. So, as I say, props to the manager. He got it right, and yeah, Leicester must be gutted. And you know what? This always happens to us. So it's about time that we got the rubber the green, and tonight we got the rubber the green, and I'm very happy with that.
Ricky, let's come to you. I'm going to talk about the starting lineup in a second, but we'll get through a few questions. Chris writes here, on my days, chaps, Antonio, above the scum, and win those games in hand, who knows? Bring on the next one. Of course, we've got Chelsea in the next game, but surely you're feeling a lot more positive as a Tottenham Hotspur fan now, because when you look in those at those games in hand, top 4 is doable, isn't it?
It's more than doable. It's more than doable. We've got the games there in hand. But this is why tonight was a statement performance for me. You saw, like Leo was saying there, you saw the want, the desire. You saw the work rate from the boys. They never stopped. They were, I don't know what their running stats were tonight, but they did work hard throughout the game. And even when in those last 10 minutes, when Leicester were managing the game and taking 8 days over taking free kicks and, caught whatever it was, and like the little niggly fouls here and just like trying to see out the game in those last 10 minutes, the boys kept going. Even when I had my hands in my head, or my head in my hands, on the table, looking at it going, oh, come on, it's going to be another one of those days where we should have, but we didn't. And, like the boys just turn up, and you saw the fight from Bergwijn there. You saw, like, I think the yellow card was first before the 2 goals. So he was fired up. You saw he was fired up to come onto the pitch and to do something. And then, he was in the fight with Sionchu, which then fired him up even more to that. The first goal that he got, he smacked that. Like he could have torn the roof off the net with that shot. And then the way he took the ball round Schmeichel at the end there to finish it off. I mean, beautiful goals. I don't know whether you saw the interview after the game with him and Harry, but he looked really kind of like proud. He looked really elated that he was not only the match winner, but he was involved and he was part of the team. And like all the players came up to him and made sure they gave him love at the end of the game there. And you could see there was a shift in our side tonight, man. And if they can take that forward, if they can continue to build on that, and nights like tonight prove that whatever Antonio Conte is doing, he's doing it right. So any of those doubters, you've got to fall by the wayside, because we're on a run now. We are on a run. And the Tottenham train is chewing, my friend. Do you know what I mean? We're moving forward, bro. We're moving forward. So as long as they carry on building on this and carry on believing, not just in Conte, but themselves, you know, and like Majestic was saying there, this is just the base level. I was screaming out throughout the game for either, you know, like options, pace for us, you know, whether that be Bergwijn or Traore or someone. Like, if this is the base level that we're at right now, with a few additions, Mr. Levy, please, with a few additions and right additions that Conte wants, I mean, we could be flying. We could be flying.
Yeah. We'll certainly come on to talk about the January transfer, Rick, definitely. Leo, let's come to you. Let's talk about the starting 11. Hugo Lloris in goal, the back three of Tanganga, Sanchez and Davies. Wing backs, Reguilon and Emerson Royale. In midfield, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Oliver Skip and Harry Winks. And then the front two of Lucas Moura and Harry Kane. Were you pleased with that starting 11?
Well, on my group chat, I had a few friends message me and they were saying like, what's up? We don't have any creative. Where all the creative players in the midfield? You know, where's the Ndombele? Where is the Dele Alli or Lo Celso? You know, and I said to him, maybe it's because Conte wanted to put players in that he trusts, that players that he knew that were going to work hard and just show commitment. And I think I always felt like effort would always beat talent. The more you work hard, the more that you're determined, the more that you're willing to give it your all. And I think probably that's what Conte decided to go with, because it's true that we didn't have the creative midfield. We had Højbjerg in there. We said Winks and who else?
Skippy
and Skippy. These are all guys that are very defensive based, defensive minded. Want to just protect and I felt that's initially, because obviously, like I said, whatever Conte does, I have to say, we have to trust him because he's the guy. He's a serial winner. So who am I?
How did we get 22 minutes in without you mentioning that?
Well, don't worry. This is mine. I'm coming in. But that's what he is. And so who are we to judge what he does? Do you know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever subs he makes, whether he makes a mistake or what, we don't have the minerals to judge what he does. So I saw the lineup and I was like, if that's what Conte feels is the best lineup, that's what it is. Because again, this is not his team. This is he needs several transfer windows to bring in his players. But regardless of that, he's still putting an imprint for the players that he has, and he needs players, because at the end of the day, you can only do so much on the sideline. You could put the players out there, but it's up to the players to make that last ditch challenge. It's up to the players to want to win. It's up for the players to show that commitment. And I felt that lineup was probably what he felt we're gonna at least give as much as he wanted to. So again, I wasn't really too again, you can't question Conte right now, can you? Can you guys? So yeah, I mean, for me, it's what it is. If Conte says yay, I say yay.
Majestic, let's come to you. Let's talk about the starting 11, because of course you mentioned there Ben Davies and Harry Winks perhaps not being good enough if we want to go forward and beyond. But he really has improved, the likes of Ben Davies and Harry Winks, because when I look back, a few weeks ago, Harry Winks, he played a ball forward at Southampton through to Harry Kane. The goal got disallowed. He won the penalty as well with that through ball from Heung-min Son at Southampton as well. Mm-hmm. And of course, he assisted Harry Kane today. He seems to be playing the ball forward. We have seen Harry Winks transformed under Conte so far.
Definitely. And the thing with Conte, he likes players that are going to give everything to him. And that's what he said. He goes, I'll give you my all, but I expect you to do the same back. And Harry Winks is that kind of lad, and fair play to him. He's one of the first names on the transfer list for me 3 months ago. Now, definitely stay within the squad. As I say, we have to be realistic in terms of where they are now. As I said, the manager is doing wonders, and he keeps coming out and saying it. Like, this is okay now, but we need to build. We need to get the transfers done. We need to do some business in January. You're not going to do ideal business, but some business is better than none. So Ben Davies, for example, he always plays better in a back three. He does it for Wales. You know, he's never been a left back. He's not fast enough. He's not got that ability to get down the line. That's not his position. But, you know, left of a back three, I've always thought Ben Davies is decent. And as I say, if he's going to improve those kind of players, and then you can add on top of it, it's a good look for us. As I say, you look at the squad that, you know, Pochettino had and where those players ended up when it was like Rose and Walker and Toby and Jan and that. Those players would have got into the teams above us at the time. And that's what you have to be realistic about, is how many of our players now would get into the teams above us, because that's how you judge where your squad is. And there's only a couple, if that. So brilliant. We've got the base, the foundations laid. People are buying into what Conte wants. Now you add the quality on top of that, and then you'll be laughing. And I think in terms of what Conte wants to do and his formation and that, like Royale, I've given him game after game. He's not the guy. He's definitely not the guy for that. And big shout out to Doherty for coming on, obviously playing in his actual position on the right side rather than the left side, which he was killing him. I felt bad for Matt Doherty because he was being killed, playing out of position. But today he put a bit in. Still, as I say, he's not the starter for me. You got to get someone better in that position. But once we can get that sorted, I think Spurs, you know, we can move forward. And as I say, with these games in hand, what a luxury that is. And I think Daniel Levy really needs to look at that and go, wow. Harry Kane tonight, he looked back to his old self again. What a goal that he scored. A great finish. He loves a goal against Leicester, doesn't he? And if we can get a bit of something around him, because this is, you know, when I speak to Spurs fans about Traore, and a lot of people, his EP's rubbish, I just throw one name at them, Aaron Lennon. I'm like, Aaron Lennon, everyone was criticised his EP. I used to love Lennon. He got me off my seat every single time. As soon as that guy ran, you got to think about it as well. Even against AC Milan at the time when we beat them away from home, it was Aaron Lennon run, Crouch is up there. What happens is when you've got someone like Traore out there on the wing, you're going to pull out defenders, which gives Harry space. If you notice in recent times where Harry's had no joy, he's been doubled up on. Son gets doubled up on. So you need to have players outside of those players that are going to detract away from them. And then all of a sudden, that's how the space opens up. And that's why like I said, we're lacking that creativity in midfield. But if you're playing with that wing-back system, it's all going to come from the wings, and then that's when Harry can interlink. So I'm just desperate now. After tonight, it's like, phew, we got past that. Every game's a huge test. The next one's Chelsea, Sunday, another huge test. And could you imagine the unthinkable? Imagine you end up going winning that with the games in hand you've got against Chelsea. All of a sudden, it's like, wow, this really is in our hands. And I don't think any of us at the start of this season, with Nuno coming in especially, thought that there would be the possibility of Champions League football, because you looked at Manchester United, I thought they were going to challenge for the title. I thought Chelsea was going to win the title. I didn't think they'd even come anywhere near being close to us. Arsenal have improved. It's going to be a real difficult, you know, end to the season. But, you know, come on now. Let's add a few players. And looking at that starting lineup tonight, I looked at it and I thought, we've got 7 to 8 defending players here. We need to have something else. And I must say as well, because he's had a lot of stick lately, and I am his fatter looking brother, Højbjerg. He was unbelievable clearing that ball from when Sanchez got absolutely rinsed in the last couple of minutes when Barnes was through. What a clearance that was. Again, game-changing moments that go, you know, unseen sometimes. And again, the fight was there. You just want everyone to be on that same page and fighting, and we fought tonight.
Ricky, let's come to you. You know, Majestic talks about that fight there. You know, when you look back at the days under Mauricio Pochettino, where the players would run to, you know, until the very, very last second, there just seems to be that sort of level of fitness back, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's night and day to what the side that we saw under Nuno. Forget Pochettino right now, but Nuno Tottenham to Conte Tottenham, they're two different sides. You know, like we all know, we wasn't getting crosses in, we wasn't getting shots in, we wasn't running. It looked lazy, it looked slow, it looked like they all gave up. But this manager has come in and inspired something. He's really lit a fire underneath them. And if they want to achieve anything in football, if they just want to achieve some like respect in the game, then they've got to listen to this man. Do you know what I mean? They've got to listen to this man, and you've seen it. Like you were saying there, I mean, like I think Winks is one of the best examples of somebody who was way out of nowhere near the first 11, was on everyone's kind of go list, transfer list, come January. But now, you know, like you say, he's not just passing side to side; he's passing forward. You know, the ball's over the top. We haven't, you know, without Winks doing it, I haven't seen it in ages. Do you know what I mean? A ball over the top from midfield. So there are these encouraging steps that are being put in. We are building. We are moving forward. But again, like the boys are reiterating, just a little sprinkle of extra, like, you know, little star quality, a bit more pace, a bit more power, you know, a little additions here in the January transfer window would just, I think it would just lift everything and send everything in the right direction. It was a crazy game. It was an absolutely crazy game, man. Like I told you, my range of emotions were up, down, left, right, center. I'm telling you, like all over the place. And again, like I know, like, you know, I'm sure we'll get onto criticisms, but again, when Lo Celso came on, again, I didn't know where he was playing or what he was doing or what effect he had on the game. Doherty, well done to you, bro. Like, you know, like I'll criticize you and everybody will criticize you when you do wrong. And he's had chances on the right, not just the left. But today he came on with a point to prove. And whether that's to get the move that he wants or, you know, to fight for his place at Tottenham, we saw the fight in the boys today, man, which I'm really happy with. I'm buzzing. That's gonna send us forward.
Leo, let's talk about the first 24 minutes or so in the game, because Tottenham Hotspur did have so many chances which we didn't find the goal. In the 9th minute, Harry Kane, you know, was very close. He got cleared off the line by Thomas. In the 18th minute, Harry Winks floated a corner in. Harry Kane headed against the crossbar. Lucas Moura had a shot as well. And then, of course, Leicester City went up the other end in the 24th minute and went 1-0 up. Unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, like I said, you know, I couldn't fault the guys for their effort. You know, they really, you know, when I tuned in, I saw them playing. We were dominating. We had possession. We looked comfortable on the ball. Leicester City were pegged back. They were deeper. You know, we were in control. You know, but you know, as they say, when you have that domination, you have to make it count. You know, you have to score. You have to really, you know, make a mark. And unfortunately, we didn't. And what happens in football? You know, the other team will go to the other end and get a goal. And this is football. You know, but even though we conceded, I didn't really feel. I didn't feel like, oh God, here we go, it's Spurs again, we're crap. Like I said, I felt this is football and this is what happens, you know. It's not like we didn't have our chances. It's just that it wasn't clinical. We didn't take them. And you know, it happens a lot with Spurs, you know. It's not like this is the first time we've seen it where, you know, we dominate a game and the other team will go on the other side and bang one in. And then that's it. We're just like, oh, you know, but I didn't feel bad for I didn't feel like we I wasn't going to come on here, Chris, and criticize the players based on what I saw, especially in the first half. I just thought we were unlucky. I felt that we were still in the game. I knew that we had to score at least minimum 2 to win. And yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, I didn't feel bad at all. I was still positive, put it that way.
Majestic, let's come to you. Let's talk about that corner from Harry Winks. Wonderful delivery in for Harry Kane. Harry Kane just seemed to get too much on it and hit the crossbar, which was quite unbelievable, really, because those are chances that he normally bangs in left, right and centre.
That's what I mean about rubber to green. We've not had the rubber to green. You look at the Southampton game with the ridiculous offside decisions and the VARs, and the irony is that when Southampton went down to 10 men, they were better because they weren't going at us and they were very compact. So, you know, those things in football can go against you, and it just always seems to happen to us. It feels like it anyway. It always feels like it's happening to you if it's your club. But, you know, it was... there was about 3 or 4 chances that we should have, you know, taken and that should have been out of sight realistically. So for the fact that we missed those chances and still come back to win the game is why it just feels cloud nine, because we were deserved winners. You know, Harry said it after the game. Yeah, obviously, you know, I thought we won and we should have won, and you know, obviously, yeah, we won, and yeah. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, I know.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
a good
listen.
impression.
You know, listen, Coming Home with Kay Warren, it's a good tune, and yeah, obviously Night Night is one of my favourites, and hopefully, yeah, we get a win.
So before you,
What would Martin Yeo have made of tonight's game?
Well, you know, obviously Defoe's back. You know, he's not at the Rangers anymore. I'd take Defoe. You know, if I could take Berbatov, I'd take Berbatov all day. You know, he's a great player. And, you know, Maido, not so much. And Hosham Gali, you know, he threw his shirt at me. No, I tell Hosham he has to go. Hosham's got to go.
Wow, bro! I didn't know you would. That's amazing. Before we even continue, you see how Majestic's microphone is a serious microphone. You see how he's sounding with that bass in his voice. You've got the Waitrose of microphones right now, while everyone else is on the Lidl. You see the bass.
Yeah, you can feel the bass of the Martin. You know, when I do Martin, you know, we come through and do that. It's, you know, it's great. that's how you.
Let's stay with you because I want your thoughts on this comment on screen now. We have so many poor quality players, average players like Harry Winks and Højbjerg are being celebrated. We just about beat a severely weakened team. What are your thoughts on that? Because Faz then writes on screen now, this win is a big turning point for Spurs' future. Are you seeing it as a really positive win? Or are you seeing it as some of these players are still average and there's still a lot to do?
I'm seeing it as some of these players are average and still a lot to do, but I'm celebrating the win. You have to take the wins in life. When it happens, we want to do better, but you have to celebrate each individual win. And tonight, what that did for that squad was unified, and we have a huge game against Chelsea coming up. Chelsea seem to be in a bit of disarray at the moment. Ever since Lukaku's comments, they seem to be in a bit of within the league, a bit of a downward trajectory. We're going to Stamford Bridge after a massive comeback like that against, a weakened Leicester side, but there was names in there that, you know, and where we played against on a regular basis. And the fact of the matter is, this is why it is now all down to Levy. Right, I have given that guy excuse after excuse. I'm not a Levy lover, as they say, but I've given him a Bly, right? So what I'm saying is now you have the opportunity. It's in your hands. I'll never forget. It was it's like when Harry Redknapp, we were doing so well under him. It's like, right, Harry's like, we've got a terrific squad, we got Quencher, we got Crouchy, they're great players, I want to get Suarez, I want to get Hazard. And then Levy comes in, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get Ryan Nielsen and Louis Saha, right? It's like, I forgave him. We moved on. This is the time now. If you don't back Conte now and that guy leaves us, we are going to be in a very bad place. Look, Keshe even says, please get Ericsson back. Right now, I'd take that. Something creative. Like, just do some business now. As I said, let's not paper over the cracks and go, all of a sudden, Doherty's our main right back. What a player. That's not the reality. But tonight he put a shift in. And like anything in life, if you do well, you get applauded. If you do poorly, you get criticised. And tonight, we're bigging up those that perform well. Again, tonight, Lo Celso came on. What did he do? Anything? Like, fair enough, we scored 2 goals since he came on, but we give that to Stevie from the Netherlands. And I'm just like, this is a great turning point because I'll tell you what I saw tonight was unity in that squad and a squad that looked happy. And as I said, the main person for me being happy is Harry Kane because when that guy is happy, he plays football fantastically. And regardless of how much we were hurt by him going on a golf course with Gary Neville and tarting himself out, he can be forgiven for his services to Tottenham Hotspur. And I tell you what, if that man's firing on all cylinders, you get top 4 football. Because once Son's back as well, and you can get Kane and Son firing, add a little bit around that, we have the manager, the best manager out of that lot. If you look at Arteta, Moyes, old Ralphie, Wreck-It Ralph, and even Tuchel, Antonio Conte is the guy that can guide you to top 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Ricky, let's come on to you. Before we talk on about Harry Kane, I want to talk about Hugo Lloris because in the 34th minute he made a fantastic save from Maddison, which of course could have made it 2-0. A superb save from our captain. Are you surprised the date of recording this video, 19th of January, we're in the January transfer window and his contract has still not been renewed? Are you surprised by this?
I'm flabbergasted, Chris, to tell you the truth. I thought it would have been done straight away, first thing come January the 1st. I can't even believe it wasn't done 2 weeks before January, to tell you the truth. So I don't know what they're holding out for. Hopefully it's something trivial. Hopefully they can deal with it. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's like the accountant going, one minute, we can deal with him in February. Let's just deal with our transfer budget and then we can deal with him in February. I don't know what, but they need to do it ASAP, really, because we don't need to be spending a massive amount of money on a keeper. I mean, if we look at Chelsea spent 70 mil on Kepa, and he's only just, starting to play a couple of games, and that's because Mendy's gone on AFCON duty. Do you know what I mean? So, it's a real high risk goalkeeping, and if we can kind of give Lloris the contract that he deserves, then we don't have to worry about that position for a little while. You know what I mean? And it gives us a little bit extra time to kind of work out what goalkeeper is the right goalkeeper for us to come in. And do you know what? Also, it twigged me on the last question. Sorry, Chris, but I know you're chatting about Pochettino and stuff, but tonight's game reminded me of the Swansea game. I don't know if you remember the Swansea game where I think it was like 1-0 down, and then in extra time we scored 2, and we came away like a winner. Do you know what I mean? And that was due to, again, that was a galvanizing game. That kind of set the bar for the boys, that they knew that they could come back if they put their best foot forward and they continue to try and to continue to work hard, like Leo was saying there. And that's why tonight it's not just the 3 points tonight. I think it's massive for the whole club, and for the whole team. So yeah, sign Lloris up quickly, Chris. Sign him up. I mean, it's a position we shouldn't be worrying about. I mean, I just can't believe why it hasn't been done already.
Stop messing with it. It's too big a position as well. Like,
too big a position.
I think like Patrick Duffy's just saying in the comments here, people get it so twisted with keepers. You cannot replace Hugo Lloris. And if you want to, the money you're going to have to pay is ridiculous tops here. Yes, Hugo has made some boo-boos in his time. Some catches have been poor, whatever. But go and just look at what he's done shot stopping and some of the goals that he's saved. Sometimes they go under the radar. Like, this guy is still only 35. In terms of goalkeeping age, that's young. I remember when Brad Friedel come to the club and he's 39, 40. He was fantastic for us, Brad. And, he is a top goalkeeper. Bring one of the youth through with him. Let Hugo, coach him and that. Because we saw it with Galini against Chelsea. That when he come out, I'm like, I just thought it was Conte going, oi, sign Lloris now because this is your number 2. Don't get it twisted about goalkeepers. It's always, and again, Spurs fans, look at what we've done in the last few years. The Kyle Walker, we'll replace it. Don't matter. I'll get rid of Trippier. We'll replace him. It's fine. These people ain't been replaced. So don't try and replace Hugo Lloris because you can't. And for me, he is one of the world's best keepers, and that's factual. He's in the top 5.
Yeah, no, I agree, man.
Ricky, let's come back to you. A comment on screen now. Favourite part of the night was the boys fighting for the ball after Stephen Bergwijn's equaliser. Loved the fight and will to win. It was awesome to see them not content with the draw. That is going back to the Pochettino days as well, because as you mentioned there about the Swansea game, I remember the Watford game as well. And there were so many matches under Pochettino where that last 10 minutes, we were always looking for that goal, and quite often got it because, the fitness levels were so high. And I just think that is the case of Antonio Conte coming in now. And, we hear all these stories about the tomato sauce and the mayo, etc. But, he is really working these players very hard. And, these players do have limitations, but he's getting the results.
Oh, I mean, I'm agreed. And that's why I think it's a pivotal result tonight for all of those reasons that you just mentioned there, to galvanize that within the squad. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you see fight like that, and when you see the celebrations, even like Majestic was saying there about the celebrations afterwards. Like, soon as Bergie scored that second goal to make it 3-2, the celebrations, Bergie wanted to go into the crowd. The security was stopping him going into the crowd. Yeah. You had all of the boys piling on. You had Antonio Conte running from I don't know where to join in with those celebrations. Do you know what I mean? It was massive. And results like this push us forward. It lets them know, again, as I said it before, but it lets them know that to trust in this guy, to carry on working, to carry on putting your foot in until the very, very last second. Exactly what Leo was saying there, and everyone, the boys have been saying, the same reason you don't leave in the 85th minute when you're losing, especially when you're Spurs, because you just never know. And to see that fight from the boys until the very, very, very last second, I mean, come on. I mean, amazing scenes.
Leo, let's come to you. Of course, at half-time, Antonio Conte made the change. Emerson Royale went off and Matt Doherty come on. it does seem strange, doesn't it? We've got a brand new signing in that come in the summer. Matt Doherty is a player that a lot of Tottenham Hotspur fans haven't really warmed to, and he hasn't really delivered at the club. However, that change made a big, big difference tonight.
Yeah, it did make a difference. You know, I mean, I'm the first one to say Matt Doherty should be out, the first one out in this January, immediately. And, you know, don't get it twisted. It's not like I'm saying now Matt Doherty is the one, just like Majestic was saying, we're not saying, Matt Doherty, he's proven but, you know, again, I think maybe it's, you know, like I said, I didn't feel like Spurs were playing too badly. I think that we were dominating the game. And, you know, when he came on, you know, Matt Doherty's not really had a good spell at Spurs. He's come on and it's really been poor. And it's the same situation with Royale. He's come on and he's been poor, you know. So maybe it's just the time that I hope is the time that Matt Doherty can start to really improve his game. I hope that from this performance, because even when I was watching, I was like, wow, Matt Doherty's getting into the box. He's going for the headers in the box. He was determined. And I hope that after this game, it gives him confidence. It gives him the ability to feel like he can do better. You know, he can play in this team. And even though, again, you know, like I said, we're not gonna take this one game as the definitive game as Matt Doherty needs to stay, but he's asking questions now. You know, and all the players that played today are asking questions to the manager, saying, look, I want to be in this team, you know. And I'm just thinking about, you know, the final whistle when Conte goes into that changing room, you know, he for himself, he feels like, okay, look, I can trust these players understanding what I'm doing. The players on the other side are looking at him saying, yeah, we trust what he's saying. And it's showing fruition on the pitch. If we work hard, if we are determined, if we fight till the end, if we're prepared to suffer, then results, good luck or luck would come our way. And this is going to do wonders. Just like Majestic and Ricky were saying, this victory is going to help us really so much, you know. And even with Conte as well, it's going to give him the belief in the team that his message is coming across to the players. It's going to make him feel good about the players as well. Because, you know, for the past couple of weeks, I've been seeing in the comments about how people were saying, Conte's looking down. You know, he's not his hyper self as he was. He's going to leave any minute. He looks a bit depressed. I think this win is going to give Conte a little bit of belief that what he's doing is working, that his message is getting across to the players. And you know, it was good. So Matt Doherty, you know, like we've been saying before, no Spurs fans want players to be rubbish. No, even if we believe they're rubbish, come kickoff, we all want them to succeed. Sanchez, Doherty, Davies, Lo Celso, we all want them to succeed. And today, they made me proud today. They made Conte proud, which is important. And so hopefully they carry this on. Matt Doherty carries on this attitude to drive, to work hard. And let's see where it goes. I hope that Levy doesn't think, oh, well, you know, I can't do a Levy accent. But I hope Levy doesn't. I don't even know what he sounds like. What does Levy sound like? I don't even know.
Majestic?
It's just a bit like untrustworthy. He just sounds untrustworthy, isn't he? I told Harry that we can let him go in the summer, but I won't.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, and he's got his big eyes.
Yeah, you can just tell you can't trust him. Please,
yeah.
Mr. Levy, you promised me 10 years ago I could go, and you not open the cupboard door for me. Please, just open the door.
So, you know, like I said to you on the first episode that I came on the show, you know, I hope that Levy doesn't feel like he doesn't have to dig deep because he's seen 9 games unbeaten. He's seen that Conte is doing the work. So, you know, maybe I don't really need to, there's no rush. Conte, you've got good players here. Come on, do your magic. I hope that throughout the past month or so, we've seen the cracks. There are cracks in there. Spurs fans shouldn't get over complacent. We've got a lot of work to do. But like Majestic said, let's enjoy the moment. let's go on Doherty's Twitter and say well done, as opposed to the abuse that I send to him every week.
Leo, what have you made of Harry Kane this season? Because, of course, he hasn't scored as many goals as in previous seasons in the Premier League. Franco writes on screen now, Kane usually looks like he's running through treacle, but tonight he looked like Bolt. That's the Antonio Conte effect right there. Were you impressed with Harry Kane tonight? Because he seemed to look like he was back to his best and really wanted to be involved.
Yeah, let me tell you what it was. Let me tell you what it is. You see, when you're in a relationship, right, and, you know, you think the grass is greener, okay? And then you're looking at that hot bird and you're looking at your missus and you're like, listen, my missus is dead. What are you doing slouching on the couch when I've got this girl over there that I can tucking in, right? This hot girl that, whoa, look at her boobs, look at her booty, and look at the state of you. You're just a waste, right? And so he's thinking, I need to go over there. And so he's like, yeah, that's it. I'm leaving you, missus. And then the move doesn't happen. And he's deflated. Now I got to stand up with this moose. Jesus Christ.
Man said moose.
This
I
moose.
ain't had moose in years.
That's how he was for the first,
Leo, you're right. You know, I looked at Pep and I thought he had lovely boobs and he's got a booty and, Raheem, the way that he looks in the shower is fantastic. So.
This is it. And so the missus said, look, MF, you ain't going nowhere, okay? That girl ain't even interested in you, because if she was interested in you, she would have texted you back. So just keep your ass back here and you've got me and that's what it is. And he was like, oh my God. And then after a while, he was like, you know what? This is the girl I have. She stood by me. She's the one that's cooking my meals. You know what? I do like your sloppy boobs. There's something about your sloppy boobs that I like. So you know what? Let me just there you go. There you go. There you go. So today I kind of saw him accept the fact that he's at Spurs and that he's not going anywhere, at least for now. I saw him say, you know what? F it, I'm with you. You've been with me. Let's just do this, yeah? Should we just do this? Forget her. I'm with you. Come on, let's do this. And that's what we saw today. The Kane has decided to stay home. Kane has decided to stay with his missus and her big moosey boobs.
Moosey boobs. Oh, fantastic.
Majestic. Roy writes on screen now, Kane was my man of the match alongside Antonio Conte. Who was your man of the match tonight?
We've got to give Bergwijn. He's won the game, innit? In terms of asking to do the job. The geezer's come on, he scored you 2 goals. He's pushed the geezer on the floor. I've got all the time in the world for that, And Kane definitely looked back to his normal self, which was nice. And someone said he looks like he's running through treacle a lot of the times in recent times. And tonight he was getting. Someone's gone #moosey boobs. That's got to be a hashtag. #moosey boobs is the best one. Imagine that goes trending. What's moosey boobs? I've got a lot of time for that, Leo. I think for Steven to come on, score those goals. Don't forget as well, he's in the midst of, is he going? He's Ajax coming in for him. So the professionalism, the fight, he fought for his place at Tottenham Hotspur tonight. And, unlike some of the others, I keep Bergwijn on the basis of that as someone that has not had enough chances really in this Spurs team. And he's been very, stop and start. Whereas some of the others, not so much. They can still go. But, Bergwijn tonight, that's probably my man of the match because you've come on and you've done that. And that was just incredible scenes. And again, as we're just seeing the comments in here right now, everyone's buzzing. We've not had this in a long time for Spurs. We haven't had this since the Ajax moment, and that's factual. I can't think of a game where we've had this. Even when we beat Man United 6-1, wasn't it? There was no fans in the stadium. To see that tonight, and I must say, our travelling fans tonight was superb. To the last second, they were applauding us. And, the scenes was great, especially Leicester, as I said, Leicester, right? giving it the absolute buzzer. It's happened again, bruv. Shut up! Like literally, you were Ajax, yeah. You were Ajax playing. Don't worry about a thing at half time. What are you? Do not bring out Bob in vain like that, bruv. You'll get twisted and turned over by Lucas Moura, and you did, yeah. And again tonight, you know what it is? I'm back in Spurs tonight because all day I've been getting pelters because I did that thing on with Steve the Madman in defence of. And let me just put this to you guys and the chat right now. So the topic I brought to in defence of was I believe that there's a media bias against Tottenham Hotspur, right? Okay. So that was what my belief was. Based on this, yeah, Newcastle in 95-96, when they flopped the Premier League with a 12-point advantage, they get a programme called The Entertainers on Sky Sports, right? When we had our title challenges, where we were never top once, by the way, Spursy, Bottlers, this, that, and the other. You've got Sky Sports making programs with Gary Neville going, Harry Kane, basically, you need to go Manchester United. You know, Manchester United, the best team in the world. You know, I've got Sir Alex Ferguson, Manchester United. Like, literally just finessing our players. I was like, there's a media bias against Spurs. Why is it Spursy when we do it and Newcastle do it? It's like, the Entertainers that dropped 12 points and actually flopped. So I've been getting pelters all day back in Spurs. So, yeah, I'm feeling pumped tonight, man. And it's nice to feel pumped as a Spurs fan. I think the last time I felt that pumped is when there was a West Ham fan in the home end against us last time, and he got chucked out. Nicely.
Nicely.
Ricky, let's come to you. In the 76th minute, of course, Maddison scored, deflected off Tanganga, put Leicester 2-1 up. And then Antonio Conte, 3 minutes later, put Steven Bergwijn on. Now, all of us Spurs fans have been saying that for such a long time, we need game changers. Now, when Steven Bergwijn was coming on in the 79th minute, be honest with me, how did you feel? Did you think he was going to change the game?
Well, I was screaming for him. I was screaming because, like Harry was buzzing about and, Lucas, for all of his hard work, he couldn't be everywhere, So every time that Harry broke forward, he was looking for a left or a right runner, somebody that so you could play a 1-2 off or he could get a cross back into the box. And I just saw the glaring gap there. So that I think it was around 60 minutes, I was shouting for Bergie to come on. So the fact that he did come on and, he's got pace, he's got trickery. He does have a powerful shot on him. And he can change the game. I've always loved Bergie. I've always loved Dutch football. Do you know what I mean? And he's another one from the kind of production line of classy, silky footballers from the Netherlands.
From the Netherlands. We love you too, Ricky. We love you here in the Netherlands. Anytime you want to come party with us, maybe have a cake together. Come to the Red Light District and come to my party shop. It's called Crazy Party Bang Bang.
Crazy, I've got it. I'm down. I'm there. All right, I'm there. But so it wasn't like I was disappointed. I was, you know what? Honestly, I was more disappointed when Doherty came on, and Doherty came on and changed the game on the right hand side. I was more disappointed when Lo Celso came on. Lo Celso came on and done nothing. So there was
have a thing for Lo Celso, isn't it?
It frustrates me though, bro, because it's like him and Ndombele. I wanted at the club, I wanted Bruno Fernandes or Dybala more than Lo Celso, but I wanted him at the club. I thought, all right, and cool. If Poch wants him, I want him. And, we've paid so much money for these players and to come on and do nothing, for however, and I've said this like 100 times, but for however much we slag off Ndombele, he's still done more than Lo Celso. He still assisted more, and he still scored more, and he's still done things in the game which you could consider, that was nice, or that changed it, or that was a good flick, or a good pass, or a good assist, or he's still done more than Lo Celso, and they haven't done much, So, so I was more disappointed when them two came on, but Doherty surprised me. I was really happy with that surprise. I was flabbergasted with that surprise, to tell the truth. And when Bergie came on, bro, I was encouraged. I was like, let's go. Let's see what we can do. Because he does have pace, power, and trickery. What about that goal against West Ham, just before he got injured again? So he has had a stop-start time.
I was going to say that, Ricky, because the week before Christmas in that West Ham quarter-final of the Carabao Cup, he scored a goal, assisted, and then, of course, got injured. It is bad timing, really, wasn't it? But in the January transfer window, it's highly likely that he's going to go out the door. Ajax have put in an official bid. Spurs have rejected it. They've come back with another one. It'd be interesting to see what happens now. But after him scoring the 2 goals tonight, would you let him go or would you like to keep him?
I wouldn't let him go for 50 million euro or 80 million euro, whatever the bids they've put in. If they want to put in a serious bid for him, then cool, we can think about it. And if Conte doesn't want him in the side and doesn't think that he can affect the side, then cool, all right, fine. But I don't think. I mean, he's an option. He's an attacking option. We haven't got many. This is why we're crying out for someone like Traore to play where? Not in the wings. We want him to play wing back so that there's even more danger coming forward. Mm-hmm. So, to have him, whether he comes off the bench or whether he plays in place of Sonny or whatever the case may be, is a viable option. He hasn't had the chances, Under Mourinho, Bergwijn he had a run of games. He was playing really well, played that game against Liverpool, missed 2 sitters, and our own crowd got on him, as well as the opposition crowd. He got a ton of stick, then he got injured, and so he's been stop-start, But I looked at his face today and his body language today, and he wanted it. He wanted it. And I want players that want to do it for us. Do you know what I mean? That want to go out there and believe in themselves to go out there and do something. And he done it tonight. So I wouldn't me personally, I wouldn't let him go. I didn't want him. He wasn't on my to-go list. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of other players that are on my to-go list. Lo Celso being one of them. Leo. But
I think that's obvious.
There's a lot more. Yeah, there's a lot more on that list than him, man.
You know what you were saying about Bergwijn with the fact that he wanted it, and someone's mentioned in the comments, Chris, before about how Bergwijn, when he made the equalizer, they wanted to get the ball and get back in there. There wasn't this whole celebration of, let's settle for the draw, because you know how I feel about celebrations, and I hate it, especially when we're not winning. Why are you celebrating? So they looked hungry. Bergwijn looked hungry. He didn't even do his thing that he does. Because
from the Netherlands.
Yes, he wasn't even doing that because the passion overwhelmed him, and that's what you want. We don't want players scoring a goal, scoring an equalizer, scoring 1-1, and doing all this silly dancing, doing all this TikTok stuff, because we're at war, Chris. We're at war. Until the referee blows the final whistle, you're the enemy.
That's like when Pogba did 8 dances in the Euros, and then they lost. Like, man, let's go to go. This one's for TikTok. This one's for the real on Instagram. Bro, you lost. You lost. Xhaka and the crew beat you. Sit down.
Waste men, and so that's why I hate it. I hate celebrations. 4-0 up, go ahead. But Bergwijn, he looked determined. When he did kind of dive a bit. Was it? Yeah, when he went over. But you could see that he was pumped up because he pushed the guy, got the yellow card. Within a minute or so, or 2 minutes, he banged 2. So yeah, just like Ricky said, nobody after that performance, you don't want to sell him, especially for 15K.
Leo, we need 50 more likes. You see that comment?
Oh yeah, 50. Yeah, we need that. Where are we at right now? Let me just check this. Let me check this now. Oh my God, it's only 2. Who are the lucky 2? Who are the lucky 2 people that are going to take us over 1,000? You know who you are. You know that you've not liked this video. Here we go. Okay. Listen. Let me make something. The next time we get 1K, I'm gonna book a nice, beautiful girl to come with a 1K sign and go like this.
Does she have moosey boobs?
She has moosey boobs. One is here, one is like up here, one is like down next to her belly button. Yeah.
Hashtag moosey boobs.
Yeah, this is 2020. We need to, equal opportunity. We can't just be liking hot birds. We have to like the moosey ones as well. They need love too. Yeah. Every pot needs a lid.
Do they need love custard, Leo?
Yeah. Let's not go there.
Majestic, you're of course another musician. You must love a celebration or two.
Yeah, but like Leo said, when it's valid, when it's there, and it's at the right time for the right reason. At the end of the game, when you win 3-2, go ham. dive into the crowd, go mad, nick someone's beanie hat. You know, it's just brilliant. You know, it's like I said, we're buzzing tonight. You go into work tomorrow or whatever you got on tomorrow, and you're pumped. You know what I mean? Listen, this is the best comment I've seen so far. I hope DT watched from his prison cell. That is the. And listen, I don't think they meant me, Donald Trump. They didn't mean me, DT. They meant DT from AFC TV. You know, he's great. He's so huge. He's going to be kidnapping people tonight. That's for real. That's horrid, Jack. You're harsh, sir. But they don't mean DT, Donald.
Hey.
Yeah. I think
wow.
I think I do need to get a grip of this show, actually.
No, but this is a victory show, Chris. This is like we get to have these moments.
A victory parade.
It's a victory parade. We don't get to have these moments as Spurs fans that often. Especially, as I said, especially Leicester giving it. It's happened again. Have you forgot that Gareth Bale himself just knocked you out of the top 4 last year? They got short memories. I didn't hear Brendan after that. Very proud of Madison. Very proud indeed. Very proud. That's all he ever says. I'm very proud.
I never knew you had so much talent. What's going on here?
Oh, look, see, haven't
true.
felt like this since Ajax, and that is true. We haven't. Oh, I've said this before, yeah. That since we've been in that new stadium, apart from when we beat Man City at home, and obviously Hugo saved the penalty. There's not been many games over there where I've gone nuts and I've walked away from the stadium like jubilant, you know, because we haven't played great football and there's not been any impressive wins, and then we've missed loads of it because of bloody COVID. So tonight, a bit like Conte has got us really back engaged with our football club. We're loving it, you know, we're feeling connected again. And when you have that win like that, that brings everyone together. And tomorrow, I'll tell you what, they'll be back in training and they'll be buzzing, and Stephen will get a fanfare as he walks in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, just before we talk about the transfer window and preview the Chelsea game, do any of you three want to say anything more on tonight's match?
I'm just happy, and I'm happy to be here, Chris. Thank you for the invite to be with my good mates Ricky and Majestic. I'm just feeling good, you know, and it makes me listen. I've got a moosey boob girl that I might call after this show.
I said on the match.
Yeah. I need to. Yes, I'm gonna make that call. Thank you very much, Spurs. Thank you very much, Chris. So that's all I have to say. Moosey boobs.
Hashtag moosey boob.
You know what? Back on the game, all I was going to say is that stuff like with Bergwijn is artillery. Bergwijn is a danger man, and we haven't got much artillery. So I think that we need to keep the ones that are willing to kind of go out there and do the business for us, and get rid of those that are not up to task.
And who do you think that is?
What? That's not up to task?
Yeah.
The Celso?
Who else?
Well, at the moment, Ndombele, Doherty was on my list as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, so there's a couple there, man. You know, Dane Scarlett, bless him, he's only 17, isn't he? So he can't really have an effect right now. We got rid of Markande, which I was really upset with, because I felt that he could have come in and really affected the side, because we needed these types of players, you know, those that can score a goal, those that are that dynamic, those that do have a turn of pace, those that are skillful, you know, and up for the fight. And so it's mixed, bro. But like I say, whatever Conte wants, I'm there with him. But like he says, we don't need to do the best business right now, but we do need to do something. He keeps saying it, you know, like even if it's that one, he keeps saying it. So, and also I really like the fact that they took off Reguilon, changed the formation as well when they brought Bergwijn on. Do you know what I mean? So they went to the back four, they pushed up a bit more, they went for that win, not only through personnel, but through tactics as well.
Leo, let's come to you, because Antonio Conte said in the press conference when he was asked about is he confident of signing at least one player in this January transfer window, and he replied with, I don't know, but we must do something. How confident are you as a Spurs fan that Tottenham are going to sign a player or two in this window?
I mean, how many days have we got left? You know, there's all this talk about signing Traore. I wasn't a fan, you know, I mean, he's got pace. I know Majestic feels that we need to get him. I just feel that Traore doesn't have an end product. I feel that whoever we sign in January is probably a stopgap. Is just someone that just like Ricky says, just a bit of artillery. Like Conte said, just a little something, a little impetus for the team. I don't know how many games. I'm sorry, we've got about 15 days left before the window closes. You know, it doesn't take long to sign players. We've still got enough time. I hope we sign players. You know, every day I'm like, I don't know, but I'm confident. When I say confident,
12 days.
12 days. Yeah, you know, 12 days. You know, people sign players on the last day of the transfer windows. So we've got 12 days to go. Everyone knows that Spurs need to sign a player. The Spurs fans know that. Levy knows the Spurs fans know that. Conte knows that we need to. Everyone, the press knows that Spurs need to sign someone this window. So if we don't sign someone this window, it's either that we weren't going to sign someone this season or it just didn't happen. The players probably didn't want to come. The numbers weren't right or the players weren't available. But I believe that we are trying our best to try and help Conte. I don't think Levy is that guy where I'm just going to sign Conte and not give him what he wants. So yeah, on that side, I'm confident.
Majestic, same question to you. How confident are you that Tottenham are going to do some business in the next 12 days? And if we don't do any business, where could we realistically finish in the Premier League with this current squad?
Firstly and foremost, I think we do business and get it done because Conte just won't settle for it. He will literally be like, well, I'm off then. Like, this is why his contract's so small and he is a don. Like, he does not care.
What is he?
He's a serial winner.
Winner.
Serial winner does not accept moosey boobs. Right? So he's not going to accept it, right? And the fact of the matter is, it is difficult to get business done in January because, like, a lot of people on here are talking about Ward-Prowse, yeah? Dead ball specialist. He was brilliant against us. Southampton, they lose him, they lose their whole team. Like, so are they going to sell? Probably not likely. You know, with Traore and Wolves, because he's got a contract, that's why they might entertain it alone. You know, when people talk about, you know, Leo said about the end product of Traore, as I mentioned, Aaron Lennon is my go-to comparison there in terms of, you know, his EP wasn't the best. But it's only been in recent years that people have started looking at the stats and the numbers, because if you take some real big players as well and you look at their actual EP, sometimes it's not the greatest, but it's what they do on the ball and what happens from those passages of play. I just see a comment here, someone saying about how Traore's carrying of the ball is like, Traore has the most carries leading to a key pass or shot per minute in the league, from David in the comments. And, you know, I think, for example, with Wolves, Traore, £20 million plus Doherty the other way, go do it. Like, I'm happy for that to happen, you know. And then there's this whole talk about Eriksen. At the end of the day, a 60% Christian Eriksen is better than what we've got now because we don't have him. We don't have anyone doing that job. Like, so
But was Eriksen any good towards the end of the season?
Right. Again, so we kind of blinkered about this because we was there and we were vexed with him because he wanted to go. But we kept drawing for Christian Eriksen. We against Olympiacos, 23 minutes in or 28 minutes, Eric Dyer's off, Eriksen's on, we win the game. Against Wolves, we're losing. Eriksen's on, we win the game. We kept going back to him to win us the game because even at his... And you know what? And I criticised Eriksen towards the end, and my mate was like, mate, wait till he goes and you'll be missing him. And it's absolutely true. So, you listen, there's twofold on the Eriksen situation. One, he is one of ours and we love him. So if we can help him get into fitness for, you know, Qatar 2022... wicked, love to see that. And then, you know, if you just put him on the bench and you bring him on as and when you need to, literally you can say to Højbjerg, Skip or Winks or whoever's around him, you lot run, and he just plays as almost like a quarterback, just putting in balls here, there and there, you know. And that's the other thing is as well, when to the backup striker to Harry or Son or someone, who do we go for? Where do we go? Do you do the unthinkable and get Jermaine Defoe for the third spell? Because he's no longer at Rangers. And I tell you what, we're a nostalgic bunch, us Spurs fans. Him coming in, just seeing him on the bench giving us a wave, the feel-good factor that alone would be something. And, you know, if you brought him on 85 minutes, I'll tell you what, a 39-year-old Jermaine Defoe probably still nicks you a goal somewhere. Because why not have something there than nothing at all? And just get contracts where it works in terms of financially pay per play or whatever else. Just do something. I just think we need to bolster that squad. and get rid of some of the dead wood. Someone there, Wayne King Defoe. I'd love to see him the third spell and just finish it. You know, and actually, look, Defoe would score goals, no lie. It would be awesome, wouldn't it?
I
Majestic,
agree.
what are you expecting in the summer?
The summer is all dependent on, you know, Conte and where we finish and stuff. For example, if we can manage top 4 and get to top 4 and you're in the Champions League, that's a different prospect altogether, because all of a sudden Levy's like, Jesus, let's get this man on a 3-year deal. What do you want? You know, like, let's try. Because people do forget, we have spent money. We've just spent money poorly. Like, Ndombele was one of the hottest prospects in Europe when we signed him. Didn't work out. Lo Celso didn't work out. You know, all of these players that we brought in that haven't worked out. It's just now we need to get that recruitment right. And I think what we need to also do is kind of like get back on that hustle of finding players in the Championship and stuff. If you think about where Danny Rose or Carl Walker or even Huddleston at the time when he came through, these players came through clubs in the Championship and they went on to do good things with us. Jared Bowen, for me, is someone that's on fire right now. And I look at him and think, wow, West Ham have done very well in the recruitment there. He's playing very, very well. And there are those players out there. We've got to just stop looking abroad for players that have never played in like the English competitive league, because it's a completely different ball game. And look further afield within, you know, the Premier League. I'd like to go and sign Lamptey, for example. I think he's fantastic. He would suit us 100%. There are a lot of players in the Premier League in clubs who are behind us that would do very well for us. Obviously, I'd like to sign Conor Gallagher, but Chelsea would never give us him.
Majestic, when was the last time you were really, really excited about a Tottenham Hotspur signing?
It's a good point. It's a really good point.
I know you're excited about Bale. You must have been excited. Bale.
Oh yeah, when Bale came back, 100%.
Yeah.
You know,
your lights have gone off. Have you paid your bill? Your lights.
Yeah, no, it's I've not paid the Alecki, mate. Yeah, when Bell came back, that was buzzing. And again, some people get it construed and go, "Oh, he's done." Bro, he scored double-figure goals last year and hardly played. The guy is world class. Like, that's the other thing as well. We're getting a bit ahead of ourselves when we think we're too good for Gareth Bell. Gareth Bell. Gareth Bell of old, new, injured. It doesn't matter. Gareth Bell is Gareth Bell, you know? And I think that's what we could have a bit of humility sometimes in terms of our signings and just be intelligent with them. And I think the last time I got really excited about us signing a player probably would have been like Van der Vaart, because you knew what his quality was, his caliber of player. You know, I think that kind of signing is something because now it is very like, when they come in, what are they like? Ndombele, big expectations, didn't really deliver. You know, clearly got loads of ability, but he's not made for the Premier League. You know, even if say Dybala came, you know, he's not played in the Premier League, so I don't know. It's such a different game. It's such a different league that you just never know. So I'd be like excited to go and get some of the youngsters in the Premier League that are up and coming and build teams around them. And I think that's where we need to be better with our recruitment. And geez, how's Steve Hitchens still in a job is beyond me. Like, how's that guy got it wrong time and time again with some of these players? And just still sitting there going, you know, a good idea, right? Yeah, let's not give Hugo Lloris no contracts and go and get Golini in. He's fantastic.
Well, I can tell you now that old Fabio was on his phone tonight. Ricky, do you think that Tottenham will be bringing a striker in this January transfer window? Because when you think about it, our last striker that we actually signed on a permanent deal was back in 2017, Llorente. Of course, we had Carlos Vinicius on loan last season, but how on earth have we gone all this time without another striker?
It's a bit kind of confusing, really, Chris. I don't know how we've done it all this time. We've had a couple of stopgaps, like you say, Llorente, Vinicius. I think I think they've really got to go for it. I mean, whether they, like Majestic was saying there, whether we go for Defoe for 6 months until the end of the season, whether we go for someone on loan, maybe someone like Icardi from PSG who ain't getting too much love over there. But you've got to be creative. And if we can't get this, look, we know, all Spurs fans, we know that we're looking at Vlahovic as the main guy to come in, not as a backup, but as an additional striker, you know, to either play with Kane or play, you know, when Kane is struggling on 60 minutes or something like that. But he's coming in as an additional striker. He would be the top boy. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen in January. And we know we're going to go for him in the summer. Now, whether that happens or not, nobody knows. But we still need help right now. You know, we still need another striker in there right now. I think watching Morecambe was one of those kind of obvious things. The fact that we didn't have a second striker playing up there and we played Dele up there, it's just we're just missing. And Vinicius, for all of the criticisms that he got, he still banged a couple of goals last year in those cup games. So he managed to kind of give Harry that rest and kind of allow us to not always rely on Harry coming off the bench. So I think it's imperative that we try and get one in. But I know it's going to be tough. What is troubling, I think, right now is that from everything that we've seen and heard, Levy has said, all right, cool, I'm going to back off and I'm going to give Paratici the reins to go to work, right, to start cooking. And it seems like he hasn't really given him the reins as yet, because I would have assumed that come January the 1st, Paratici would have already gone out there and already started making moves for them to come in within the first week or so. But as it gets longer, as it goes on throughout this particular transfer window, it seems more and more like the Levy that we've known from seasons gone, where it's like we're waiting until the last week of the transfer window, or we're going to wait until deadline day, which is a Levy move. It's a Levy tactic. So that's a bit troubling to me. On the point that Majestic was saying there about Traore and the XP and all of that palaver, it reminds me of the film Moneyball. I don't know whether you guys have seen that film Moneyball. I'm sure it's Brad Pitt, but they kind of go and get odd players. Those that are kind of been, I don't know, like looked down upon in the rest of the league, but their kind of percentages in other aspects and their personalities and their mentality was high in other kind of attributes. And they came in and they kind of done the damn thing, and it's a great film, and they won whatever league it was, and they achieved some great stuff. But it's a true story. It's a true story where it's not always about the kind of stats that you're being shown. It's the stats that you should be kind of looking at that are on your own little notepad, and seeing what he can do. What is he good at? What can he do? Like the Majestic was saying there about the dribbling stats and stuff like that. So we need another striker. If we can get one in for 6 months or on loan for a little bit, fantastic. And then we go again in the summer. But we need business being done. So whether Levy's in charge or whether Paratici's in charge, start getting the checkbook out, start getting the cash out, start getting your tapping, start tapping your card on the meter and get those players in, because it's a perfect opportunity. It's a perfect opportunity. There are bargains out there. There are players where you don't have to spend crazy money, and I don't want us to spend money just for money's sake, just for players' sake. We still need players that are right for us, upstairs as well as in their twinkle toes. So it's about being smart and getting those important players in that can do the job that we want them to do.
I completely agree. You don't just need signs for the sake of it. They've got to be right for the club. And, of course, what Conte wants. Just want to ask you three a very quick question. Just give me a very quick answer. Ricky, let's start with you. How many signings do you think we're going to get in the next 12 days?
I'm going to say 2. I'm going to say
Leo?
2, Chris.
Yeah, I don't think 3. 2, I would say possibly 2. I would go with what Ricky's saying, 2.
Majestic, what about you?
I'm going to go 3. I think there might be an Ericsson or a Defoe, maybe. There might be an old boy thrown in there for good measure.
Wow.
Can I just say something, just to touch on what Ricky was saying about, again, like everyone knows Spurs wants to buy players in January, and because everyone knows Spurs want to buy players in January, they're gonna play the game. They're gonna hold out till it's desperate to get as much money as Spurs are willing to pay for whoever they want to get, whether it's Traore or whoever it is. All the other teams know Spurs want to buy a player, so they're not gonna let Spurs have him easy. They're gonna wait and do what Levy does to them, So they're gonna drag it out to the last couple of days because right now it's not like Spurs ain't trying to find the player. We all know what the players that we've identified. So the question is, what's the holdup? So the hold up is either these teams are just, you know, playing hard to get and wanting Levy to spend more money, because we are the begging team right now. And they know that. We're begging. It's not like the other way around where usually we're the one with the asset and they're wanting it. So we need to cut Spurs a little bit of slack and say, look, it's hardball. January's hard. So let's just see what happens.
Well, I'm going to go with one. Majestic, let's come to you. We want to talk about players possibly going out the door in this January transfer window. Benedict writes on screen now. I think Daniel Levy can't bear to accept that Dele Alli as an asset is no longer worth £80 million. I'm sure he puts pressure on managers to get the best out of him. Surely Antonio Conte is trying to work with players, get the best out of them. But, you know, like tonight, Matt Doherty and Steven Bergwijn, if we were to sell them, it's clearly put them in the shop window and probably put a few £1 million more on their price tag this evening.
Yeah, definitely. But they obviously were winning for the fight. The thing with Dele is I've backed Dele so hard because I really wanted him to go on and come back to his best, because we all Spurs fans love Dele. For the seasons that he was good, he was incredible. But he's just such a shadow of his former self right now, and he just can't make it into that side. That system doesn't suit him at all. You just don't see him. He played really well against Liverpool, though, I thought. And I thought, hang about, we've got something here. And then all of a sudden, he jumps into another game. He just looks so distant and off it. And I just think for him personally, you know, he needs to go to another club and try and kickstart his career. He's only young. He can still do it. And, you know, you've seen it with Maddison, because Maddison was off the boil a bit. The guy goes in tonight. He was fantastic for Leicester, I thought, and he has been fantastic in recent games. I just think now is the time. You're right. Once upon a time, Real Madrid might have paid £80 million for Dele Alli. No one will do that now. You might get 30 if you're lucky. Just ring up Newcastle and go, listen, we've got some fantastic players here for you now. Dele Alli, we'll give you him with Doherty, fantastic right back. You'll like him as well. 3 for 1. Like, just go and give Newcastle the players.
They're buying everyone.
They're buying everyone. You know, they'll give you a few players and some 60 million for a few. Buy 3, get 1 free. You know, that's what we do. Just off shipment to Newcastle. But yeah, I think Dele's not going to come back to what we need. And it's just not there. It's been how many managers now? 3 since Poch, and even at the end of the Poch reign, he wasn't really playing that often either. So as soon as he changed his hair, that was the end. That's a marker. It wasn't, right? People get it twisted. As soon as he called himself Dele, was the end, and that's the real talk, because he literally turned himself into a brand.
Yeah,
he got gassed. He turned himself into a brand, and I know there's obviously some deeper reasons to it as well with his own personal life. However, the moment he saw himself as a brand and was like, hey, boohoo.com, fashion for me. It's like, bro, shut up, man. Like, see Sonny, yeah? You think Sonny's dad's going to have that? He's like, son, no pum-pum, no drinking, no bread, nothing. You are married to the game. And son comes out, it's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to get a wife afterwards because I'm married to the game. Like, football is a short career. Like, just be in it for the time that you're there, because he was such a good player. He was such a good player, Dele Alli, but he's not there anymore. So if Newcastle come in and go, look, we'll have a bit of Dele Alli, then by all means, take him, you know, because I don't want to go on Instagram Live and see his starlit Rolls Royce and him sitting in the back playing like Central C, just nodding. Like, bro, come on, bro. We love you. We love you, but allow it.
Do you think he's changed his name to Dele like Pele? You know, like Pele.
Yeah.
That one barrel.
Bro, he thought he was the Messi, Ronaldo, Dele. He thought he was there. Yeah. He thought he was there. Dele. Listen, the difference is, once upon a time was the... Remember that was Dele's banter? Brilliant. Yeah. And even the little thing of that and his bit of fun. Now it's just like, you know, he became so serious and became a party boy, and it's such a shame, because it's one of the biggest falls from grace in recent years, football-wise. Because, again, if you want to look at his stats, they've been fantastic. Even now, for such a young man, what he's contributed game-wise, scored in big games for us as well. It's a massive shame. But, yeah, for me, that's done. And it's so not going to work under Conte, because he just doesn't accept that, you know. If Conte can tell Diego Costa not to come back, don't bother coming back, mate. Like, he ain't going to have it with Dele.
Trust me. Do you think Dele would ever have it with this form if he leaves another team? Let's say he goes to Newcastle. Do you think his form will be rekindled?
Possibly, but it's down to his attitude. You know, at the end of the day, what's the difference? No, but what's the difference between Harry Kane? Yeah, Harry Kane is at home with the missus, the kids, you know, doing that. Son is married to the game. He goes out with his mum and dad, bruv. Like this is how Son rolls. Yeah, Dele is on Wayne Lineker's table at O Beach with the rest of the Avengers. I was there, I've seen it, and they're having it like that's where he's in that world. And as soon as you're in that world, you're footballing this second. It's game over.
Were you invited?
I was on the decks, and I was just like, I was gonna
Why did you go over there and tell him what 1-2? Tell him what's what?
I was gonna literally pull down the tune about, listen, Dele, yeah, what you need to do, yeah.
Trust me.
I was gonna give him the Alan Hansen. Dele at the moment, Sierra was bad. Why you do that? Absolutely diabolical. You called yourself Dele. Why? New haircut. I don't like it. Why you done that? You know, but yeah, it's a shame. We love him. Contribution to Spurs, fantastic. But we're moving forward now. We're moving forward.
All three of you, just shout some names out of players that you'll be surprised to still see at Spurs come the 1st of Feb.
Dombele.
Ndombele, yeah, Ndombele all day.
Let's sell some.
Will anyone pay £200,000 a week to take on Ndombele?
Yeah, a Chinese club. They'll pay 400,000 to have him.
Sure.
We've seen his TikToks, very good.
Yeah, probably even Newcastle will have him.
Yeah. Okay.
Newcastle will have him. Yeah.
Imagine him with St. Maximin though; they'll be ripping people up.
Yeah. Right. Lastly, let's talk about the Chelsea game. Of course, our next Premier League game this Sunday at Stamford Bridge. One win there in the Premier League in 30 years. Ricky, let's come to you first. How do you see this game against Chelsea going? They have only won one game in their last 7.
Damn old Chelsea, damn. Boy, well, you know what? I think after tonight's game and that fighting spirit that was shown there throughout the boys, if they jump on this and they build on this and they go out with the same type of attitude, then you know what? We could surprise them. I think we could win the game. You know, Chelsea in the league, they've been dropping form. They've been drawing a lot of games. You know, like the boys were saying there, ever since Lukaku kind of come out with his comments, it's been a bit topsy-turvy. So I think if we can turn up for the fight and kind of go at them like we did this evening, then I think we could do it. We could do it. But what is scary is that when Leicester wanted to break on us tonight and use their speed against us, it worked. So Chelsea have got those players too. Pulisic, Ziyech. They've got pacey players. They've got people that can do that to us. So that's their danger, and that's what we should be worried about. But I think if they put their heads together, and hopefully Dyer's back, or Romero, but more likely Dyer. If we can get him back and kind of put in a real fight, then I think we could take those 3 points. And I think what a fantastic 3 points those would be. I think we would exchange those results in the League Cup for the 3 points on Sunday, because it would do wonders for us, Chris.
And just a reminder, Ricky, it is an away game.
Don't fuck it. Do you know what, Chris? I'm going to give you a joke right now. Yeah. Do you know what? I
tell you what. I don't think Majestic knows this story, so I think we've got to talk about it again.
Yeah,
come on, man. You're going to make me tell the story again.
Rewind.
Yeah.
Majestic, man. All right, fine. Okay, fine. Majestic, bruv. This is what happened. Okay, fuck. I don't want to swear. Right, this is what happened. Okay, New Year's Day game. I'm supposed to be meeting Chris to go and watch Watford. I'm like, fine, wicked. I'm all over it. I'm like, fine, okay, cool. So we've had New Year's Eve, and I had a couple of champagnes. Yeah, I did. But that's not the point. I woke up ready to go, right? I know my way to Tottenham. What are you talking about? Got myself ready, out there, jumped on a train, got to Liverpool Street. And there I'm at Liverpool Street looking at trains. The trains are going up every half an hour. Now on game day, they're normally every 5-10 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'm fine. Phone my dad. I'm like, Dad, can I get to Tottenham Stadium from Tottenham How? He's like, no, make sure you take the White Hart Lane train. You'll be fine. All right, fine. So I've spoken to my dad already. So jumped on the train. I can't see no home fans, no away fans. I'm like, what is going on here? Come out of White Hart Lane. And I love it when we go around that corner and the stadium just turns up like a spaceship. Yeah, I love that moment. Gone around the corner, I've seen that. I'm like, look at the stadium. Look at the stadium. The stadium it looks like the lights are off. Like, it looks like, what's going on here, right? So I carry on walking. I'm walking down. I'm like, what's going on? I check my phone 4 times. I'm like, is there a game? Is there a game today? Is it tomorrow? I'm like, all right, I'm fine. I'm like, speak to Chris. I said, Chris, I'm here. I'm going to go into the club shop. I'll meet you in a minute. All right, cool. Go in the club shop. I'm putting around. There's a couple of fans there, but not like a match day. So I'm still like, what's going on here? I'm like, all right, and cool. Pick up a couple of knickknacks. Head to go pay for them. Where the security pulls me, she's like, "Oh yeah, fat boy EastEnders." So we have a little giggle with her. Then I have a little giggle with the staff there. You know, the till girls. All right, cool. Chris phones me. He's like, "Rick, where are you? I'm coming out the shop right now, bro. I'm coming out the shop right now." Put the phone down. Giggle, giggle, giggle. Come out. I'm looking for him, and he's supposed to be across the road from the shop. I'm looking for him. I can't find him. I'm like, "Where is this guy?" I phone him back. I'm like, "Chris, where are you, bro?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm here by the shop, by Vicarage Road. I'm here." I said, "What?" He said, yeah, no. Vicarage. I said, "What, bruv? What did you say?" I was like, "Bruv, I thought we had a home game. It was an away game, bruv." So I went home for an away game, and ever since then, everyone continues to. They won't let it go. Even so much so that Chris texted me. What was it, today or yesterday? And he was like, "Just to let you know, Rick, yeah, the game's away tonight." I'm like, come on, right? Not only that, yeah. Let me give you the cherry on the cake right now, bro. As I'm sitting there watching the game, it's like 70 minutes. The missus is chilling. She's just chilling, like she's watching her phone and stuff like that. She's just chilling out. She's like, "Babe," I said, "Yes, sweetheart." She's like, "Oh, I just want to let you know that it's an away game." And I was like,
You can't get away from it, Rick.
bro, I can't get away from it, man. I cannot get away from it.
Leo, let's come to you on the Chelsea game. How do you see this game going? Because, of course, in the last few weeks, certainly in the Carabao Cup semi-final, there was a real quality difference. I know that we're all on cloud 9 tonight after the win, but, Chelsea away is completely different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a different game. It's going to be tough. It's not, football's a psychological game. Obviously, the win today is going to give us, that confidence, going to give us that impetus. But it's a Stamford Bridge. It's going to be a tough game. The fact that we won today is only going to make us come into that game much stronger, much with more belief. Look at Ricky's getting the abuse. Yeah.
Princess Switch 3. Nice one.
Are you sure it's 3 or is it not 2, Ricky? Which are you? Make sure you get your numbers right. Yeah. But yeah, it's difficult, man. I mean, if we win, oh my God, that will be incredible. Chelsea are not really playing well. They drew to Brighton because Brighton, didn't give up. I hope we go there and not sit back. I hope we go there and attack. I hope we go there and be on the front foot from the get-go and not show them any respect. I'd rather Spurs go out like how Pochettino did. We didn't care about the opposition. We just went and attacked. We pressed. We went forward. I hope we do that. Look at how Chelsea played against Man City. They felt that they were the underdogs, so they sat back, and Man City kind of dominated. I hope we don't do that. I hope we go on the front foot. But it's a tough game. If we can get a draw, I'll be happy. A win will be ecstatic. It's very rare. I can't see us winning, so I'm going to go for a draw. 1-1.
Majestic, how are you feeling about it?
Well, as I say, listen, we're all buzzing after tonight's result. If there's a time to go and play them now, is now. And we've got 4 games in hand on them. What a statement you're making if you go and beat them. Don't forget as well, the weekend, Manchester United take on West Ham, which is at Old Trafford. I'm sure it'll be an exclusive on TalkSport. Yeah, we're going in work mode. Yeah, well, not so much kiss. But so, one of those teams around us are dropping points this weekend. And if you can go and make up some ground on Chelsea, wow, with 4 games in hand on them, and then all of a sudden you're that many points. Let's have a quick look at it. If we win 39 points, we go 5 points behind them with 4 games in hand. All of a sudden you look at that and you think, geez. Chelsea then take on Arsenal in the Premier League. They've got Leicester. They've got some difficult games coming, So it really does. It's nice to have all these games in the bank. And if we can go to Chelsea and even nick a draw, it's such a big thing. And all of a sudden, if you get even a draw at Stamford Bridge, the momentum, you've come off that. And the other thing we want to keep is Conte's unbeaten Premier League record.
Yeah.
Because that is a good thing that we've got on our hands. Oh, he's unbeaten in the Premier League, and having that is something to fight for. The boys are going to be buzzed up. We owe Chelsea. We gifted them the Carabao Cup fight. Gifted them, man. Free gifts. All of their goals were complete gifts. So if you look at it from that, and yeah, I do agree there was definitely a quality difference in the two legs. But I still thought they didn't do much. They weren't frightening. Like Chelsea sometimes when we played them before, leaps and bounds are better than us. I didn't think that when we played them. I think we gave them an easy couple of games,
What do you think was the approach? The fact that we felt that they were a stronger team, so we didn't press them. We sat back and let them have the ball.
And all of a sudden, within the first leg, you're 2-0 down, and it's very difficult to come back from that. I think if we, against Liverpool, because perhaps it's because we knew that they were weakened, we showed them no respect. We was on the front foot, and we caused all the problems. And I think that's what we need to do at Stamford Bridge is go, here you go, we'll cause you some problems. Don't worry about us. Because, as I say, collectively as a team right now, I don't think they've got it together. And if you look at their results and what they're doing in the Premier League right now, I think they've won, one out of the last 5 in the Premier League. They've drawn 3 and lost 1 in the last 5. It's not good in the Premier League for them right now. And if Brighton could go and do 1-1 with them, then listen, we've got to go for the jugular and actually be Conte rather than Spurs.
Yeah. Lastly, score predictions. Ricky, what are you going for?
Going 2-1 Tottenham.
Oh, come on, Ricky. Honestly,
I got to, man. I never back them to
why
lose,
you just
bro.
why do you always I know we call you champion. Why? Okay, that's your optimism, but let's a realistic approach. Come on.
You can't have a go at him for predicting a win.
No, yes, I can because you always predict a win.
All right, fine, Leo. 4-1 Tottenham.
Much better.
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Leo, what are you going for?
I said the same, 1-1 draw. 1-1.
Yep.
It's not going to
Majestic.
be...
I think it's a score 1-1 draw, personally. I think, if we can get that and walk away from Stamford Bridge with a point, it means that they don't go any more points ahead of us with those games that we've got in hand. And as I say, Manchester United or West Ham will be dropping points at the weekend. Hopefully both of them do, and they draw. And that means if we draw, it kind of nullifies it all. We've got another game out of the way and we've played Chelsea twice. And then you look to the run-ins towards the end of the season, you've got rid of Chelsea. That's done now. Do you know what I mean? That's what I look at when we, in these run-ins of who have we played? Who have we got left to play? Where have we got to play? I'd happily take the draw now and try and, I think Chelsea are going to be dragged into this top 4 battle, personally. I think, it's quite clear Man City and Liverpool are just miles better than everyone else. And then I think the top 3 and 4 will be up for grabs. I think Chelsea get pulled right into it.
Well, our 3 new signings might be featuring on Sunday then, yeah?
Well, Traore's ready. I've got the baby already. Jermaine Defoe on the bench with Ericsson.
Don't say that. Don't say it.
Brother, have you not seen the slippery hill? Brother, he oils himself up so no one
He
can grab
oils
him.
his arms.
Oh, really? Yeah. I don't know. Listen, he wasn't that big before, was he, Majestic?
Who, Traore?
Yeah.
He's a beast, brother. He reckons he don't go gym. He's one of them guys that go gym at 24-hour gym at 1 a.m. Go, I don't go gym, bro. No, man, don't go gym.
Just natural.
Yeah, he's natural.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 1-1.
Ricky, Leo, and Majestic, it's been an absolutely fantastic show. Of course, the win has put us all in such a great mood, and it's been great tonight. So thank you so much for your time, Ricky. You might as well promote your film again while we're here.
Well, thanks to Tom for bringing it up, but it's way past Christmas, so this has got to be the last one. But it's there. It's the Princess Switch 3. I'm also in number 2, but there's a trilogy. So if you want to watch a trilogy, go straight ahead. It's a great film with loads of the right family fun, friendly beats and loads of little bits and pieces going on. In the third one, there's a heist, so it's a little bit more exciting. So yes, Princess Switch 3 on Netflix right now. Starring Vanessa Hudgens, which some of you guys might know. And yeah, like I say, I'm in number 2 and number 3. So if you want to watch and support, please do. It'd be fantastic. Thank you very much.
Well, Ricky, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, brother. It's been an honor and a pleasure. And what a giggle, man. What a giggle. Leo,
what are you up to at the moment?
Right now I'm organizing this big party on Saturday for someone, and then obviously tonight I'm calling my Moosey boobs for celebration. So that's I'm gonna do that. Last time I ordered the Chinese. Tonight I'm ordering Moosey boobs.
Hashtag Moosies.
Moosey boobs. But it's my niece's birthday today. She's 17. She's an Arsenal fan. Could you believe it? Because of her mum, you know. So I'm just gonna sing a happy birthday and try and convert her to come to Spurs. So happy birthday to you. Her name's Tia. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tia. Happy birthday to you. Now quit your Arsenal team and come over to the right side of London.
Well,
That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Chris, for inviting me. It's been a pleasure as always to be among my great friends, Ricky and Majestic. Such a pleasure to have you guys with me. Chris, thank you so much. And I'm so happy we got 1,000 likes. It's been brilliant. Yeah, amazing.
It, Leo. Well done.
So Majestic, you've got your track, right, coming out? Or is it out right now?
So yeah, just before we go, because the numbers, people are going to bed, just before we go, listen, there's about 800, 900 people watching us right now, yeah?
Right.
If all of you go and spend 79p, only 79p right now, on iTunes, head over to iTunes because it matters more. The way that music works now with Spotify and all that nonsense, you have to get like 600 streams to count as one sell. So head over to the iTunes chart right now, buy Plain Old Kev, Invincible. It's not under Majestic, it's under Plain Old Kev, where it's a very personal story about my own battle with depression. I wanted to bear all as Kevin rather than Majestic. So there's a lot of people in the comments tonight have said, I've heard your tune, it really resonated with me, I'm getting help and stuff. Listen, we're four geezers on here having a laugh and a chat tonight. It's a very male-dominated chat. Big shout to the ladies out there as well. But listen, 125 people a week, 75% of those are men that are losing their lives to suicide. We need to do something about it. Calm is an incredible charity. I want to earn as much money for them as possible. So all I'm asking is to head over to iTunes, buy that tune right now, Plain Old Kev, Invincible. I'll make it even easier for you guys. Head over to @Majestic Online, Instagram, slide in my DMs or Twitter, and I'll send you the link personally of where you can go get it. And let's fly up the charts, because look, people often moan, our music's crap now, it doesn't mean anything. You know, some of the stuff that you hear is rubbish. This means something, it's a personal story, and if we can help people with the power of music, then it's a wonderful thing.
Amen.
Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, please do. And 12,000 people have watched this stream so far, actually. Wow. So I'm sure, we'll get quite a few more thousand views in the next couple of days. So hopefully everyone will back this and buy that single. So, keep up the great work, Majestic. Ricky, Leo and Majestic, can't thank you enough. It's been lovely chatting to you, all three of you. Thanks so much to all of the viewers, all of the comments, all of the likes, 1,000 or more. Thank you very much. And let's hope that we are celebrating again on Sunday afternoon with 3 points at Stamford Bridge. Fingers crossed. And of course, a January sign-in would be nice as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
What are you saying, Moosey Boobs?